A subtlety. Looming over a plant whose entire history was one of sweetening taste and aggregating wealth, of refining sweetness from dark to white, she stands mute, a riddle so wrapped up in the history of power and its central appeal that one can only stare stupefied, unable to answer. Nada Thompson, Chief Curator, Creative Time.
Kara Walker, the sculptor of a subtlety, was born in 1969 in an integrated suburb of California. When she was 13, Walker's family moved to Atlanta, where she began to regularly encounter racism. Aspiring to be an artist like her father, Walker studied art in Atlanta and got her master's at Rhode Island College of Design. While studying, she found out that she wanted her work to tackle racism. Walker's breakout work was a mural called Gone, which was put on display at the Drawing Center in Soho. This work received a lot of attention because of its depictions. Walker is known for racist imagery throughout her career. She claims that she wants her work to produce a sense of giddy discomfort.
Kara Walker chose the Domino's Sugar Factory in Brooklyn, New York, built in 1856 as her exhibition space to pay homage to the factory's history and its integral part of the story of sugar. It refined more than half of the sugar in the United States by the 1870s, and the walls were still coated in a thick, viscous molasses. Walker created a sphinx-turned mammy as a subtlety, which is meant to be offensive. It allowed her to create a hybrid of two distinct racist stereotypes of the black female. The head is a kerchief-wearing female to represent the caretakers of the white families, and her overly sexualized body references that black women were often seen as sex objects. The sculpture is covered in white sugar to reflect on the history of the slaves' work and the building. Surrounding the Sphinx are 13 molasses-covered boys carrying either baskets or bunches of bananas.
Much of the meaning that comes from Kara Walker's A Subtlety is based on the building's past as a sugar factory. Walker focuses in on the involvement of slavery in the sugar industry. She does this by picturing the young slave boys with their baskets, as if they were picking sugar cane. In a video about the project on Creative Time, she talks about how in the sugar industry they traded sugar for bodies and bodies for sugar. Given the way slavery left the African American community and the fact that the building was going to be demolished after the exhibit, Walker portrays a theme of ruins.
That is why she chose the idea of a sphinx, because it is symbolic of ruins. Walker's use of a sugar sculpture is also symbolic. Not only did the factory create sugar, but it made the sculptures of the slaves and the sphinx stripped like the factory itself. Also, the sculptures made like a sugar subtlety, small sugar figure that were eaten at medieval royal banquets after the main course. This is done to represent power, as the sugar subtleties were only eaten by people of power. In the sculpture, there is an obnoxious sexualization of the black woman as she appears unclothed. The Sphinx woman is also shown with her right hand making the figa symbol, which in Brazilian and Portuguese culture can mean FU.
Kara Walker created the sculpture in order to invoke deep feelings of emotion in the audience that viewed it. Both the interesting sculpture and the historically prominent location added to the meaning behind the art. However, there were different reactions to the work, with most black viewers feeling solemn and mourning the hardships that their ancestors endured. On the other hand, most of the white crowd that visited the piece were unable to understand it maturely, and instead they resorted to taking selfies and pictures with the statue because of its distinct features. Walker meant for people to feel uncomfortable when visiting the statue, but wanted that discomfort to provoke thought, not immaturity. Be that as it may, Kara Walker knew that people would react in an inappropriate way and used this fact to help further prove her point.